Alright guys, looks like the Pikmin 4 sales numbers are starting to trickle in, or at least how the game did, and it's a pretty good start for a franchise that really has never been a major seller for Nintendo. So we did get some sales numbers out of the UK, or some sales positioning more like it. And one thing about the UK is that it's not Nintendo's biggest market, nor is it one of the bigger markets out there, but you can usually tell if a game does okay in the UK, the numbers and the positioning is going to be way better in Japan and in the US, where Nintendo is stronger. So there's good news on the Pikmin 4 front, because Pikmin 4 actually sold 45% better than Pikmin 3 Deluxe did back when it released on the Nintendo Switch in October of 2020. And we also know that Pikmin 4 has been a little bit of a beast on the eShop with the voucher program, and it actually surpassing The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and other games, as it's #1 in many different regions, digital as well. So this is absolutely a phenomenal start for Pikmin. Once again, a franchise that has never really been big in Nintendo's eyes. It's always been a franchise that's been critically acclaimed. None of the mainline releases that were new at launch reviewed anything under an 87 on Metacritic, so it's always been great. But with Pikmin 4, it looks like there's the perfect storm of install base, of momentum, and of a game that's just incredibly high quality that you can play anywhere that you want. You also have to remember, there's been no real true mainline portable Pikmin game. It's the GameCube, it's the Wii U. Yeah, you can play on the Wii U gamepad, but that's not truly portable. And I think that it's really galvanized the Pikmin fan base. One, to be able to play the game portable when it comes down to it, a mainline Pikmin game, but also two, finally getting a game after a decade of waiting. Pikmin 3 came out back in 2013. Pikmin 3 Deluxe, once again, was a port of the Wii U version. And people are showering the game with love across the internet, some even having it as their game of the year overall. So very interesting to say the least. I think that there's absolutely a really good thing that's going with Pikmin. I don't really take user scores as the be-all end-all, but on Metacritic, there wasn't any review bombing, and the game has an outstanding 9.3 user score on 300 plus ratings. Once again, I don't take user scores seriously, but the fact that it's just being showered with love from the fans there is absolutely a good sign. And it actually went back up to an 88. It's been going 87, 88, going back and forth, so it's back up to an 88 here. So all things are good on the Pikmin front. But before we get into the next topic here, guys, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell to get the latest RPG, Nintendo Switch news, and more. Now let's go ahead and jump right into this next topic here, because we've got something for Sonic Superstars. Yes, there will be in-game cosmetic customization. So this game is starting to trickle out with more details here and there, and it's looking better and better. So Sonic Superstars was officially revealed recently back in June, and now we have some more information. Now the game is confirmed to have a world map that's very reminiscent of Sonic Generations and the hub in that game, where you're running around a 2D plane and selecting your zone. Now the world map will also have an in-game shop. We can go there, spend gold medals, and collect in-game items and purchase cosmetic parts for your characters. That does add in some extra replay value, gives you incentive to really do everything in the levels. This includes parts for your head, body, arms, and feet. Patterns, colors, accessories are also in there as well. Plus, there's this thing called the prototype, but Game Informer states that they need to learn more about this, and they're not really going to talk about how it works, so they don't really know exactly how it works. They're playing coy about it. So there's some new features, there's some different stuff in this game that's absolutely going to delight players out there. And based off of all of the hands-on gameplay so far, Sonic Superstars really seems like a return to form when it comes to Sonic and the Sonic team making something that's not Sonic Mania, not the classic like pixelated Sonic or pixel art Sonic, but a new 3D game with a modern twist, with multiplayer co-op right there. I'm really loving what they've shown with Sonic Superstars so far, and I'm looking forward to more of this game. But speaking of doing a great job and looking forward to things, Splatoon 3 has got a brand new update that's launching on July 26/27, and Nintendo has talked about how this is going to be a pretty solid update here because there's adjustments to the multiplayer when it comes to the weapons and the NZAP and Splattershot. So I have a list up for you guys. But also, one of the big things that's being changed here, probably the most important thing, is the changes to the lobby. Now, they've made it possible to where you can join a room even when a private battle is in progress if there is a spot available. How many times have you been playing Splatoon 3 and somebody's already started a match and you can't really go in, you gotta wait and everything? Now you can just boom, jump right in there, jump inside the room and not have to worry about waiting in order to get in. So the multiplayer lobby system has been retooled and completely reshuffled and changed from what I played in Splatoon 2 to the point where you can't even go back to how it worked in that game. It's so much better in this game. Now, in the case, the new player will be able to participate starting with the next battle. So they won't be able to jump in right away and get into that match, but once that next battle starts, they'll be able to get in. So this is a great change here. Now, they've also improved certain weapons to make them easier to use and modified some less popular weapons to be a bit closer to popular weapons in performance. And with these changes, they're gonna hope that encourages a wider selection of weapon usage instead of everybody just going towards the top heavy weapons here. Additionally, they've made some adjustments to sub-weapons, making them easier to use in conjunction with the main weapons, and adjusted special weapons and bug fixes. A lot of bug fixes, fixes to multiplayer, a lot of fixes to Salmon Run, fixes to Splatfest, other fixes. So this is great, man. Splatoon 3 is humming along. It's easily going to be the best-selling Splatoon game by a large margin, and I think it's safe to say, for me at least, Splatoon 3 is the best multiplayer console experience when it comes to shooters out there, just in my opinion, with all the free updates, with how they handled single player, with how they handled what they're doing with multiplayer, with no crazy microtransactions. This is how you get it done, adding challenges, adding updates. I love what they're doing here. So absolutely one of the best, if not the best, multiplayer experiences on the Nintendo Switch and just in gaming, hands down. And I think that they also have an update here that's going to help cut back on some of those disconnections and lobby issues that people have been having, which the last time that I played, there wasn't really too many of those. So it seems like they're already making strides on that. But speaking of maybe not making strides anymore, we have a rumor that is floating around from very credible sources that Ubisoft has canceled Immortals Fenyx Rising sequel. Now, for those who don't know, this is a game that was inspired by The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it actually did okay on the Nintendo Switch and on various other platforms. It's a fun game. It's got good combat. It's not like it was a bust or anything like that. It did quickly get discounted, but at the same time, I think that it was a game that surprised a lot of people with its gameplay and what they're doing. Now, according to this report, the 2020's Immortals Fenyx Rising, the sequel, has been canceled. Now, VGC is covering this. They're very good with their rumors and their sources. So they did claim that a sequel was in early development at Ubisoft Quebec, but leadership at Ubisoft decided to cancel it earlier this month. This was due to the perceived challenges around establishing the IP. Now, future plans for this franchise is currently in doubt/flux as Ubisoft puts more focus on its more popular franchises like Assassin's Creed. Now, the thing about this, guys, and what's going on here, that absolutely makes sense. We're seeing a lot of these companies take less risk and not want to make as many different types of games. They really want to focus in on what's going to sell. Obviously, Assassin's Creed has a number of games in development. Ubisoft has had a number of flops over the past couple of years, so they didn't even want to take the chance with this one as it got more ambitious and as it needed more money. And also, if you look at it, man, they're probably looking at the install base and they're saying, we're kind of in a transition with the next Switch coming. You're looking at the Xbox and PlayStation, what type of games are selling on there. They're probably not going to be able to do PS4 and Xbox One. So I think overall they looked at the landscape and said it's just not the right time. Now, I still feel that this can be resurrected as maybe like a Switch 2 type of thing, because I think, if I'm not correct, it did best on the Nintendo Switch. So I do think that it could come back, but it's just something that it's not the right time with the current state of the industry and what they're doing. I just don't think it's the right time. But later, I think they can bring it back. So I hope that they do, because I know that people like the game. I wasn't as big on it, but I felt it was a solid title overall. But speaking of a game that I think is going to be a very solid title overall, and that is Persona 5 Tactica. We've got a brand new trailer going down for Toshiro Kasukabe, who is the young and upcoming Diet member rumored to be the next Prime Minister. So another trailer here, guys. And once again, this game is just looking super slick. I love what they're doing so far with the gameplay. Yes, the art style kind of chibi, I get that. But at the same time, the gameplay just looks super, super solid. And it looks like it's going to have that flair and that taste that Persona fans are used to. Is Atlus milking Persona 5 to the point where it's powdered at this point? Yes, they are. Like, this is a supreme milk job from 2016 and on. We're going on 7 years, 8 calendar years of Persona 5 and various variations and iterations and styles of Persona 5. But at the same time, it still delivers a pretty cool experience. Or at least I think this game is going to deliver a cool bite-sized tactical experience that's going to be really solid and probably get some of the other team members involved a bit more with their own game, while Atlus cooks up Persona 6 and some other secret Persona titles they are working on. Potentially a fighting game that has all the different Persona characters in there, not just like a Persona 4 fighting game or Persona 5 fighting game, but all the different Persona games. That would be very interesting. So we'll see what happens in the future, but I'm looking forward to Persona 5 Tactica. I think it's going to be a solid game. The game does drop on November 17th worldwide, and it's pretty much out on everything overall. Plus, it's on Game Pass, so if you're not really sure about the game, you can always try it out on Game Pass and see how you like it on there if you're already subscribed. But that's going to wrap it up here, guys, for all the Nintendo Switch and RPG news. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Also, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out our other Nintendo Switch and RPG news videos right here on screen. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.